in Year 1. So I'm here to demonstrate your lesson today, which is on sentences. Now your activity today is that you need to put some punctuation in some sentences to make them correct. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually remind you on what we need to have to make a sentence a sentence. So thinking about what we have at the start of the sentence, how do we know your sentence has started? We normally have to have a capital letter, so I'm going to just put a capital A there. And we also need some punctuation to go at the end so we know that your sentence has finished. Now I wonder if any of you can remember any punctuation that goes at the end of a sentence. We normally have to have a full stop, but if you're asking a question, you will need to have a question mark. Or, if you want to be super fancy and you're going to be using some kind of writing where someone might be shouting or it's really exciting, you might also want to use, instead, an exclamation mark. But these three are what you put at the end of your sentence. Now, also remember you need to have finger spaces. So I'm just going to draw a little finger here. Okay. And then finally, we now need to remember that your lines, your sentences, don't just finish at the end of a line. You can go on to the next line. So I'm just going to draw some lines here as well. Your sentence doesn't just have to fit onto one line. So now that we know that, I'm actually going to get us to have a go at, that one, to have a go at punctuating this sentence. I'm just going to rub these out so we can see it a bit better. So the sentence we have here is, there are lots of animals in the rainforest. Now at the start of the sentence we need to make sure that that T is a capital, so I'm actually just going to edit it to a capital T. And then we also need to remember that at the end of the sentence we need to have a full stop. Now because I've typed this already, I do have my finger spaces and my sentence doesn't just have to be squished onto one line. The word rainforest has actually gone on to the next. And what I need to do at the end is to make sure it makes sense. I'm going to read it again. There are lots of animals in the rainforest. So it makes sense as well. So now we're going to have a little bit of a twist. Because my next one is, we've got something that's slightly longer. And I wonder if you can spot what the trick is here. Now again, you might notice we're going to need to put a capital letter at the start here. And we need to make sure that we've got a full stop at the end. But I'm going to read it first, just so I know what I'm actually punctuating. There are lots of animals in the rainforest. The monkeys swing from the trees. Full stop at the end. Now some of you might have clocked something already. But actually, this piece of writing, there are two sentences. The first sentence we've had already about the animals in the rainforest. And on here I put a full stop, so that means here I need to put a full stop. But also the reason why is because this first sentence is talking about animals in the rainforest, and this second sentence is talking about the monkeys. So I know that it's a new sentence because the subject is slightly different. We're talking about monkeys here. So that's a good clue to tell us that that is a new sentence there. So I've turned that into a capital letter because I've got a full stop here. The monkeys swing from the trees. So the last sentence now, you'll probably guess there are two sentences in here. Okay, so I'm going to read it to make sure it makes sense first. The frogs dip in the pond. The sloth has a long sleep. So I wonder if any of you can guess what I need to do first. Capital letter. Capital letter at the start, full stop. Now, I've given you a clue. There are two sentences here, so I wonder if anyone can guess where the full stop is going to go. I'm going to read it first, just to check. The frogs dip in the pond. The sloth has a long sleep. Now, the first part is about the frogs dipping in the pond, but then the subject changed and it talks then about the sloth having a sleep. So I wonder if you can guess where my full stop is going to go to tell me this is one sentence and where the other sentence starts. The frogs dip in the pond, the sloth has a long sleep. I'm going to put my full stop after pond because then we now talk about the sloth. So the first part was about the frogs, the second part is about the sloth. And then I need to make sure at the end that I put a full stop. Okay, so dear everyone, that is how a quick how-to guide on punctuating sentences with capital letters and full stops.